Buying a house in the USA sounds expensive, but what if I told you some states still have homes you can actually afford in 2026? In this video, we're revealing the top cheapest states to buy a house in the United States, where prices are low, living costs are reasonable, and opportunities are still growing. If you're planning to move, invest, or just curious about real US home prices, this video might surprise you. Let's get started. When people think about cheap homes in the USA, Oklahoma is rarely the first state that comes to mind. But in 2026, Oklahoma quietly remains one of the most affordable states to buy a house in America, and the reasons might surprise you. Intro to Oklahoma. Coming in at number 5 on our list of the cheapest states to buy a house in the USA is Oklahoma. Located in the south-central region, Oklahoma offers a rare mix of low home prices, low cost of living, and stable housing markets, especially when compared to expensive coastal states like California or New York. Home prices and affordability. One of the biggest reasons Oklahoma makes this list is home affordability. In many cities and towns across the state, you can still find single-family homes well under the national average price. Even in 2026, buyers can find decent-sized houses for prices that feel almost impossible in other parts of the country. This makes Oklahoma a strong option for first-time home buyers, families, and even real estate investors looking for lower entry costs. Cost of living advantage. Housing isn't the only thing that's affordable here. Oklahoma consistently ranks among states with a low cost of living, meaning everyday expenses like groceries, utilities, transportation, and healthcare are also relatively cheaper. This matters because buying a cheap house doesn't help much if everything else is expensive. In Oklahoma, lower housing costs are supported by overall affordability, making it easier to maintain a comfortable lifestyle. Best cities for buying a home. Some of the most popular and affordable cities in Oklahoma include Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Norman, and Lawton. These areas offer a range of housing options, from suburban family homes to smaller starter houses. Oklahoma City, in particular, has seen steady growth without extreme price spikes, which is good news for buyers who want stability rather than risky speculation. Jobs and economy. Another important factor is the local economy. Oklahoma has strong industries in energy, aviation, agriculture, healthcare, and manufacturing. While it may not offer Silicon Valley-level salaries, the income-to-home price ratio is much healthier. This means many residents can realistically afford to buy a home without stretching their finances too thin. Lifestyle and living. Oklahoma offers a quieter, more relaxed lifestyle compared to major metro areas. There's less traffic, more open space, and a strong sense of community in many neighborhoods. For people who value space, affordability, and slower living, Oklahoma can be a very attractive option, especially in 2026 when housing affordability is becoming rare across the country. Of course, no state is perfect. Weather risks like tornadoes, fewer public transport options, and limited nightlife in smaller towns are things buyers should consider. But for many people, the low home prices and lower financial stress easily outweigh these downsides. So, if you're looking for a place where buying a house still feels achievable in 2026, Oklahoma deserves serious attention. What if I told you that in 2026, one of the best states to buy an affordable house in the USA is hiding in plain sight? At number 4 on our list is Ohio, a state where home prices are still realistic for everyday buyers. Coming in at number 4, we have Ohio. Located in the Midwest, Ohio has quietly become one of the most affordable states for home buyers, especially when compared to overpriced coastal markets. While many states saw extreme housing inflation, Ohio managed to stay stable and buyer-friendly, which is exactly what makes it stand out in 2026. One of Ohio's biggest strengths is its low median home prices. In many cities, buyers can still find spacious single-family homes at prices far below the national average. Instead of tiny apartments, Ohio often offers larger homes, yards, and quiet neighborhoods without the massive price tags seen in states like California or New York. Some of the most affordable and popular housing markets in Ohio include Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, Dayton, and Toledo. Columbus stands out as a growing city with jobs and development, while cities like Cleveland and Toledo offer excellent affordability for first-time buyers and investors. Cost of living in Ohio is supported by a low cost of living. Expenses like groceries, utilities, healthcare, and transportation are generally lower than the U.S. average. This balance makes Ohio attractive not just for buying a home, but for actually living comfortably after buying it. Jobs and economy. Ohio has a diverse economy with jobs in manufacturing, healthcare, education, logistics, and technology. While salaries may not be the highest in the country, the price-to-income ratio is one of Ohio's biggest advantages. In simple terms, people here can afford the homes they live in. Lifestyle and living experience. Ohio offers a mix of urban life, suburbs, and small towns. You get good schools, sports culture, seasonal weather, and strong local communities. For families, retirees, and budget-conscious buyers, Ohio provides value, stability, and space, something rare in 2026. Things to consider. Winters can be cold, and some areas grow slower than major tech hubs, but for many buyers, affordability and stability matter more than hype. That's why Ohio earns the number 4 spot on our list of the cheapest states to buy a house in the USA in 2026. What if you could buy a house in the USA in 2026 without massive debt? At number 3 on our list is Arkansas, one of America's most underrated and affordable housing markets. Coming in at number 3, we have Arkansas. Located in the southern United States, Arkansas consistently ranks among the cheapest states to buy a house, even as prices rise nationwide. While many buyers focus on big, popular states, Arkansas quietly offers low home prices and a low cost of living, making it a smart option for budget-conscious buyers. Arkansas's biggest advantages is its very affordable home prices. In many parts of the state, buyers can still find single-family homes well below the national average. Instead of small apartments, Arkansas often offers larger homes, more land, and peaceful neighborhoods, all at prices that feel almost impossible in coastal states. For first-time buyers and families, this affordability is a major win in 2026. Best cities to buy a home. Some of the most affordable and popular cities in Arkansas include Little Rock, Fort Smith, North Little Rock, Jonesboro, and Pine Bluff. These areas offer a mix of job opportunities, reasonable living costs, and stable housing markets, making them attractive for both residents and investors. Cost of living advantage. Housing affordability in Arkansas is supported by a low overall cost of living. Groceries, utilities, transportation, and healthcare are generally cheaper than the U.S. average. This means homeowners don't just buy cheaper houses, they also save money every month, which is extremely important in today's economy. Jobs and economy. Arkansas has a growing economy based on agriculture, manufacturing, logistics, healthcare, and retail. While it may not offer the highest salaries, the home price-to-income ratio is one of the best in the country. In simple words, people can actually afford to buy and keep their homes here. Lifestyle and living. Arkansas is known for natural beauty, quiet towns, and a slower pace of life. For people who value space, affordability, and less stress, Arkansas can be an excellent place to live in 2026. Things to consider. Some rural areas offer fewer job options, and nightlife is limited outside major cities. But for many buyers, the low prices and peaceful lifestyle easily outweigh these downsides. Conclusion and transition. That's why Arkansas earns the number 3 spot on our list of the cheapest states to buy a house in the USA in 2026. In 2026, buying a house in the USA feels impossible for many people. But what if I told you there's a state where homes are still shockingly affordable? At number 2 on our list is Mississippi. Coming in at number 2, we have Mississippi, one of the cheapest states to buy a house in the United States. Located in the Deep South, Mississippi consistently ranks at the top when it comes to low home prices and low living costs. While many states saw massive price jumps over the years, Mississippi has remained one of the most budget-friendly housing markets in America. Home prices and affordability. Mississippi's biggest strength is extremely affordable home prices. In many areas, buyers can still find single-family homes far below the national average. For the price of a small apartment in a big city, you can often buy a full house with land in Mississippi. That's why this state is especially attractive for first-time buyers, retirees, and budget-focused families in 2026. Affordable cities to buy in. Some of the most affordable housing markets in Mississippi include Jackson, Gulfport, Hattiesburg, South Haven, and Biloxi. These cities offer a mix of job opportunities, reasonable housing prices, and everyday conveniences, making them popular choices for people looking to own a home without financial pressure. Low cost of living advantage. Housing isn't the only thing that's cheap in Mississippi. The state also has one of the lowest costs of living in the USA. Groceries, utilities, transportation, and healthcare costs are generally lower than the national average. This means homeowners don't just buy cheaper homes, they also save money every month. Jobs and economy. Mississippi's economy is supported by industries like manufacturing, agriculture, healthcare, energy, and shipbuilding. While salaries may be lower compared to major tech states, the home price-to-income ratio is very favorable. In simple terms, homes here are priced realistically for local incomes. Lifestyle and living. Mississippi offers a slower pace of life, strong local communities, and plenty of open space. For people who value affordability, peace, and less financial stress, Mississippi can be a great option in 2026. Things to consider. Some areas have fewer job options and economic growth can be slower than in major metro states. But for many buyers, the low housing costs and low living expenses easily outweigh these challenges. That's why Mississippi earns the number 2 spot on our list of the cheapest states to buy a house in the USA in 2026. What if I told you that in 2026, the cheapest state to buy a house in the entire USA is not Texas, not Florida, but West Virginia? Yes, at number one on our list is a state where homeownership is still shockingly affordable. Taking the number one spot on our list of the cheapest states to buy a house in the USA in 2026 is West Virginia. Year after year, West Virginia ranks as the most affordable housing market in America, and even today, it continues to stand far below the national average in home prices. For buyers priced out of most states, West Virginia feels like a hidden opportunity. Home prices and why it's number one. The biggest reason West Virginia is number one is simple: extremely low home prices. In many parts of the state, buyers can still find single-family homes at prices that seem unbelievable by today's standards. Instead of tiny apartments, you often get larger homes, yards, and quiet neighborhoods, all at a fraction of what homes cost in major U.S. cities. In 2026, when affordability is rare, West Virginia remains an exception. Best cities and areas to buy. Some of the most affordable areas in West Virginia include Charleston, Huntington, Parkersburg, Wheeling, and Martinsburg. These cities offer a balance of basic job opportunities, essential services, and very low housing costs, making them popular choices for buyers who want value over hype. Low cost of living advantage. Housing isn't the only thing that's cheap in West Virginia. The state also has one of the lowest costs of living in the entire USA. Groceries, utilities, transportation, and healthcare are generally below the national average. For people who value affordability, space, and simplicity, West Virginia can be an excellent place to live in 2026. Of course, there are trade-offs. Job options are limited in some areas, population growth is slow, and nightlife is minimal outside major towns. But for many buyers, the ability to actually own a home without crushing debt outweighs these challenges. That's why West Virginia earns the number one spot on our list of the cheapest states to buy a house in the USA in 2026. In a time when home ownership feels impossible for millions, West Virginia proves that affordable homes still exist, if you know where to look. Which state surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone dreaming of owning a home in America.